Hey, how's it going out there? I'm gonna get on this live Q&A real quick. And if anyone out there, if you guys want to log in on this live Q&A, I'll be answering some quick questions real quick out there. So I'll give you guys a little bit of time to roll in. Hey, what's going on? I'm motivated. So, hey, if you guys have any questions out there, feel free to start typing in the comment box, and I'll definitely be answering some questions today. Yesterday, I had technical difficulties with my with the live, so today I'll be answering a few questions. If you guys want, you can start typing in the comment box. Hopefully, everybody out there is having a good day. What's going on, Emmanuel? Jamal Henderson, let's go. Maurice Biggie, how hard is it to cook? How hard is it to cook with new MC number? I take it that you just mean how hard is it to pretty much keep get going with your MC number? Hold up real quick. Let me check out something. It's cutting off a lot of my comments, so I can't see it. That's what was happening yesterday. Let me check out something real quick. Okay, I got it now. All right, so I can see now. So I'm gonna start rolling through some questions. If you guys have any questions, like I say, feel free to ask your questions in the actual comment section. So it's how hard is it to book loads with the new MC number? So I always like to tell people this, it just all depends. You know, who are you actually going through on the that's going to be brokering out that freight. For me, when I first started, it was definitely a challenge the first 3 months, but I always kept my trailers loaded. You know, I've always kept the trucks loaded. Sometimes you just have to call up a broker, and that broker might call them up, and right when he answers, he might be like, ask you for your MC number. Then he run your MC number. Then he noticed that you under 90 days. So he might say, hey, I can't give you the freight. And then what you got to do is just keep calling up the next shipper. So your first 90 days is going to be pretty much, it might be annoying at the beginning, but you just got to keep calling them up. And trust me, once you get that 90 days, and 90 days ain't nothing, you know, that 3 months will be up in no time. So just keep calling, and trust me, you're going to end up finding an actual freight broker out there that's going to be willing to give you the freight. Try to go to, I know C.H. Robertson and places like Landstar and those type of places, those brokers, they'll give you the freight. Usually time it's more of like the smaller freight brokerages, like the medium-sized freight brokerages that will require you to have 90 days or 6 months out there. But trust me, those freight brokers want to get that freight moved just as fast, just as bad as you want to haul freight. So there's going to be plenty of freight brokers out there that's going to be willing to give you give you that load under 90 days, but you just got to be consistent and you got to keep calling. But for a fact, it can be a little bit annoying starting out. How much do you charge for dispatching Bless Logistics? So for us, we charge 8% for dispatching, and that's 8% per load. Send me an email if you are looking for a dispatch service at broker@mannystrans.com. It takes 3 weeks. It takes 3 weeks in Florida. G Poppy, what's up, brother? I'm the guy in Fayetteville with the Bulldogs, man. I think that I'm going to stick with dispatching. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you, man. Hey, I was about to say most definitely, but at the end of the day, I always recommend for everybody out there to, learn freight brokering and dispatching. Both of them are two totally separate things, but both of them are very lucrative and very, different those are two different ways that you can make money. But also by learning freight brokering and dispatching, that'll give you opportunity to save money too within your company, you know, out there. So if you learn how to dispatch, you don't have to go pay a dispatcher to dispatch for you. If you learn how to broker freight, you could cut the freight broker out and go directly to the shipper. So you want to figure out ways to cut, you know, everybody out of your pocket, especially if you plan on hauling and transporting freight out there. Darlene Jamal, oops, I skipped one. Jamal Henderson, is it best to start out with a dispatch service with the new authority? Like I say, it just all depends. You know, that dispatch service is going to have the same problems that you're going to have, you know, when you're out there booking loads, because the dispatch service is not going to do anything spectacular. You know, just because you have a new authority don't mean that they have connections. You know, it's just all based off the broker. And a lot of times, like I say, these brokers out here, they have the requirements. So for you, honestly, man, I would just learn how to dispatch freight, and I learn how to dispatch yourself. So, you know, you might not have to use a dispatch service and pay the dispatching service the fee. How can I create an LLC? The way that you could create an LLC, just depending on what state you're in. So for me, for example, I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. So all you have to do, whatever state you're in, just go type in Google Secretary of State Business Services in whatever state you're in. So for me, if I want to start an LLC, I'm going to type in Secretary of State in Indiana Business Services, and it's going to pull up the direct link, and it's going to take me right to where I need to go. I recommend calling the Secretary of State first, getting linked in with the business service department to make sure that whatever name that you are trying to name your LLC, that that name will be available. So make sure you call them up first and then get online and go ahead and knock it out. But it's very easy. It's not going to take you no more than 10 or 15 minutes to input all your information. So starting the LLC is not it's not hard. Secretary of State Business Services, and then put your state in Google. If I'm dispatching people, but I work under my own company, am I technically a broker, or do I need cargo insurance to just dispatch people? So as a dispatcher, you don't need any type of insurance. You don't need a surety bond. You don't need no type of insurance. All you're doing as a dispatching company is working for the owner operators. The owner operators will have their insurance in place, their MC number in place. So that's the good thing about, if you guys want to learn how to dispatch and start a dispatching company, is that you don't really need, I like to say you don't really have no liability when it comes to you booking. Only thing you have to do is book loads. You know, you're just the middle person between the broker and the actual owner operator or the truck driver that you're dispatching for. So there's really no liability on you. You know, your main focus is just to book loads. So let me go back to that again. So if I'm dispatching people, but I work under my own company, am I technically a broker? So you're not a broker. Definitely, you're not a freight broker. You have to be certified to be a freight broker. And basically the way you're going to be certified to be a freight broker is that you have to go start up your business, go get a $75,000 surety bond, go get an MC number. So you have to apply for your motor carrier number to broker freight. And then after that, you have to go get a $75,000 surety bond. And then you have to go get contingent cargo insurance to be an actual freight broker. Henry Patterson, Logistics Made Simple and Quaker Transportation will work with you. So, yep, I definitely did business in the prior with Logistics Made Simple and Quaker Transportation, and they definitely will work with you before, I believe it's 3 months. They should be good to go. Charles Brown, is a good idea for someone living in Florida to start a hotshot trucking business. I keep seeing Florida is not a freight state. So yeah, Florida is not a freight state, but the thing about it, even myself being in a freight state in Indiana, the Indiana Midwest area, I'm not just going to stay in Indiana. You know, I'm always going to just basically go where the money takes me. So for me, I'm not a everyday driver, you know, but my other trucks that I have a driver for, you know, he's just going to go wherever the money takes him. So that's going to be the same thing for Florida. Yes, Florida is not the best state for freight, but that don't mean that you can't start your trucking company in Florida, because 9 times out of 10, you won't stay in Florida anyway. So the most challenging thing for you guys, if you're starting your trucking company in Florida, is that it might be hard for you to get out of Florida, meaning that it might be hard for you to find freight to get out of Florida. But it's going to be pretty easy for you to get back home, because there's always a lot of inbound freight going into the state of Florida, but it's not a lot of outbound freight. So don't let that discourage you from, you know, people telling you that it's not a good state. And it's not a good state for outbound freight, but you can start your trucking company anywhere, but you just got to be willing to go wherever the money takes you, and be willing to stay out on the road too. Don't, especially if you live in Florida, don't think that you're going to be at home every day or every weekend just because you're going to waste more time, you know, trying to leave out the state and then come right back just for the weekend. So be willing to be out on the road if this is something that you're willing to do. Something that you want to do. Terrence Willis, what's the best state to get insurance in the trucking business? Right now, like the more inland, the more like, you know, Midwest states, once you start getting to the coastline, they start trying to hike up your premiums. So if I was you, you know, it'd definitely be more in the Midwest. But the thing about commercial insurance is you just can't really tell them that, hey, I live in Ohio, but you really live in Florida. You know, that it don't really work like that. So wherever you set that business up at, that's where you have to get commercial insurance at. So kind of figure that part out too. If you know people that live in certain areas out there, and you got family, friends that live in certain states, figure out how you could team up with them, become business partners, and start a business somewhere where, you know, maybe you could get a better insurance quote. Henry Patterson, insurance will kill you, but I'm rolling. No, most definitely, Henry, man. That's one thing about the commercial insurance. Commercial insurance is not cheap. And the reason why it's not cheap is because when you start out as a new trucking company out here, there's only a couple of people that's really going to insure you, maybe 2 or 3 people that's going to insure you out here, which is Progressive, National Indemnity Company, and maybe somebody else. But I know for a fact that you don't really have a lot of options when you get commercial insurance. They like to say that a lot of commercial insurance companies don't like to insure new companies, new trucking companies, new ventures. So your commercial insurance is definitely not going to be cheap. Now, it might be a reasonable price. Anywhere I'm seeing about $1,500 a month average is pretty decent. Excuse me, about $1,500-$1,600. So if yours is a little bit lower, that I think you're definitely doing well. If yours is a little bit higher, you just got to make it up. You just got to be out on that road and getting that money. You know, if another few $100s shouldn't hurt you, as long as you're willing to stay out on the road. So commercial insurance, yes, it's not cheap, but the whole goal is to keep them wheels turning so you can keep earning anyway. Do you mentor for broker also? Willens Registry. Yes, I do offer broker training, and I offer mentorship. Send me an email at broker@managedtrans.com. I'll put my email in the comments. Just send me an email and I'll get back to you. And that's for anybody else out there who is looking for guidance, any type of mentorship that I could provide, any type of trainings that I could provide. Send me an email at broker@managedtrans.com, and also visit my website, www.extraordinarymovement.com, which I'm putting it in the comments right now too. And everything should be in the description of this live. All right, let me keep going. Logistics, insurance, do you mentor? Paul, hey there, are you leasing on? Yeah, my business partner still runs the lease on side of the house. Send me an email, like I say, at broker@manniestrans.com, and I'll forward over your information to my business partner so he could go through everything. And right now, I know he's only leasing on individuals with Class A CDLs, 3,500 dually trucks, and 40-foot big tex trailers or better. So, like I say, Class A CDL, 3,500 or better, and a 40-foot trailer or better. Is there good money in non-CDL Hotshot? Cornell Sutton. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. You know, like I say, I never hot shotted without a CDL. I've always had a CDL since 2013. So for me, with the drivers that I've always hired, they've always had to have a Class A CDL license. So I've never did anything non-CDL. That's something that Toe Piglet, you know, Toe Piglet puts out, you know, a lot of videos every day, and he's the non-CDL hotshot guy. So I think he'll be the person to ask that question to. You know, I don't really like to speak on things that I really don't do, you know, because it's not a fact for me. Can you do, where we at? Is there good money? Jay Jackson, hey, Manny Fresh, keep feeding the hungry, buddy. Right on, man, Manny Fresh. I ain't heard that one in a minute. Nathaniel Howard, are there courses or books that teach dispatching and freight brokering, or do you just dive in? So Nathaniel Howard, like I say, I offer broker and dispatching training and mentorship. It's all on my website. Once you purchase the dispatching and broker training, you can instantly download it, and you can start training. So visit my website at extraordinarymovement.com. And like I say, it should be in the comments, or if not, everything that I provide service and product wise is in the description below, and it's all on my website. Jacoby Brown, I need, oh man, it just got to raining real bad outside. I need that info from you. Let's link up. I'm trying to do bigger and better things. Jacoby Brown. Yeah, send me an email, man, to let me know what type of info do you, what type of info specifically that you need, so you could go ahead and start hitting the ground running. Jacoby Brown, shoot me your contact info. Thank you, sir. Okay, I got you. Yeah, so like I say, the email is broker@Manny's, which is MANNEYS, trans, TRANS.com. Send me an email. I'm motivated. How can I find quality drivers? We had to let go 3 within 2 years. Hey, if you only had to let go 3 within 2 years, you're actually doing well. So, I mean, when it comes to drivers, I mean, it's just like anything else out there. It's pretty much hit or miss. You know, you're going to find you some good drivers, and you're going to find some, you know, some not so good drivers, you know. So it's just pretty much just like the roll of the dice, you know, and that's just how I look at it. You know, I've had some good drivers and I had some bad ones, you know, but at the end of the day, that's just part of business, you know. So I just say, just keep, try to actually, you know, increase, not really increase, but try to, you know, improve, you know, your actual systems and your requirements when you're actually hiring people too. You know, make sure that you have standards within your company and weed out the people that you really don't want, you know. So you're just not hiring a person just to keep your truck rolling and to make money. You know, make sure that you really have some standards, you know, set some type of actual, you know, requirements. Hey, you have to have a Class A CDL license. You have to have 3 years of experience. You have to have a clean MVR, no tickets, no accidents. You know, you have to be willing to pass a, you know, you got to pass a drug test. You have to be willing to stay out on the road for 2-3 weeks at a time, or whatever it is, you know. But make sure that you set those requirements, so when people are applying for your position, that they actually know, you know, what you're really looking for. What is a startup cost for a broker business? The startup cost for a broker business, it all just depends on your credit. To acquire the $75,000 surety bond, you just have to pay a percentage towards that $75,000. So it just depends on your credit. If your credit is not the best, that means you're going to pay a little bit more. So for me, my credit has always been pretty decent. I like to say so. For me, I had to pay $1,600, $1,700 annually for the surety bond, but I know some people that have to pay $10,000 annually for the surety bond. So it just all depends. Also, starting up your freight brokerage, you just need to go apply for your motor carrier number to be authorized to broker freight. That's going to be $300. So it's not a very big startup cost, and it's not a very big overhead type of business. And that's why I always recommend for people to get into it. You know, get off into dispatch and get off into broker and freight. Don't focus so much on going out, buying equipment, buying trucks. I'm not saying don't go buy trucks, but I'm saying, like, for me, when I first started this business, I was all about like, hey, I want to be the big Hotshot company. I want to have a lot of trucks. And I went out and I acquired 4 trucks or 3 trucks. Yeah, 4 trucks within the first year. And I really didn't, you know, I started to see that it was more too much overhead, especially with the maintenance costs and all of that. So for me, I was started to make more money brokering freight and dispatching other owner operators, and I still made money off my trucks. And I'm always going to have trucks, you know, pretty much until the day I die, just because that's additional income. But I just recommend for you guys out there and females to start digging more deep into brokering and dispatching freight, because it's very low overhead and it's pretty much all money, you know, coming in. So that's why I like it, because I don't really have to worry about spending, you know, $10,000. I didn't spend $10,000 in one day on maintenance before. And I just made a video this morning to let you guys in on one of my students in my dispatch training. She ended up getting quoted for like $14,000, you know, because her driver ended up putting DEF into the diesel tank. So like, a lot of stuff, it ain't cheap when it comes to dealing with them trucks out there. But like I say, learn how to dispatch and broker freight. And once you do buy your trucks, at least you're going to know how to run them, and you could cut a lot of people out of your pocket out there. 3 to 6 months out, how do you find hot states with freight? Maurice Bigsby. So the hot states with the freight is this also what I like to explain to people out there. When it comes to hauling freight, you have to stay within these manufacturing states. Once you go pretty much west of the Mississippi River, you don't really, you're getting out of the manufacturing states. The manufacturing states are more east of the Mississippi River, where I'm at. Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois. These are a lot of your manufacturing states. So as long as you can stay around in these areas, maybe go a little bit East Coast, you know, go to PA, go to Maryland, go to, you know, Jersey, go to those areas, you can always stay loaded. But once you go west of the Mississippi River, like past St. Louis, it starts getting a little bit, you know, not to say that you can't stay loaded, because there's plenty of people that run west of the Mississippi River. But I'm just saying, for me, that's where I like to stay, because I've already been through the trial and error process, which I've learned that if I stay east of the Mississippi River, my trailer will always stay loaded with decent paying freight. Let me see. I lost my spot. How do you find is your broker training? First, staying focused. Is your broker training enough to start a business? So the broker training is definitely going to be enough for you to, first off, learn how to broker freight. And also it's going to be enough for you to start a business. So also I give the option for people who don't want to go out and start in their freight brokerage, you know, off top right when they finish the actual training. I give them the option to come and broker freight under my company. And that will give you the opportunity to start gaining experience, gaining the knowledge, and also give you the opportunity to start acquiring shippers. And then once you are comfortable and confident to go start your own freight brokerage, you can actually take your shippers with you when you leave. So most definitely, man, anything that I do, honestly, when it comes to building trainings or whatever it is, I mean, I make sure that I'm putting out good quality products, you know, and that's why I like putting out these videos. That's why I like doing live YouTube videos, to give as much value and to give as much knowledge as possible out there. Also, if you guys have ever sat in on some of my live free webinars that I try to do every other Sunday, you know, that's another time for me to give out the knowledge. So definitely when it comes to anything that I offer for a fee, it's definitely going to be well worth it. Ernesto, as a new broker, do I have to apply to be approved with all my carriers with their factoring company? As a new broker, do I have to apply to be approved with all my new carriers with their factoring company? Well, you, as a broker, you don't really care about the carriers. You're going to be working for the shippers. So Ernesto, send me an email at broker@managedtrends.com, and we'll definitely work. We could clarify that question for you. Hi, Brandon. Our insurance is with Berkshire Hathaway, and it cost me $28,000 a year, $5,800 down. So yeah, you know, that's just how it is out there. You know, 28,000 just depends on how many trucks. How many trucks are you running? Please let us know. If that's just with one truck, that's definitely you know, pretty expensive. What's the difference, Eric? What's the difference between brokering and dispatching? So the difference between freight brokering and dispatching is that the actual freight broker works for the shipper, and the dispatcher works for the truck driver or the owner operator. So the freight broker is going and finding shipping companies that they could work for to broker their freight out. And then the actual dispatcher is going out trying to find truck drivers and owner operators so that they could dispatch them for a profit. So how do you get paid as a dispatcher in a freight broker? The way that you're going to get paid as a freight broker is you're going to take money off the top of the load. So that's why I always tell you guys out there, because I'm a freight broker. So I always tell you guys out there, learn as much as you can, you know, because as a truck driver, when you're going on the load board, you're booking loads from the freight broker. The freight broker has to get paid some way. So the freight broker has to take money off the top of that shipment. And that's how the freight broker is going to make their money. The way that a dispatching company makes their money is by charging the owner operators and the truck drivers a percentage of the load. So for our dispatching company, we charge 8% of the load. If I go book a load right now for $1,000 for some owner operator, I just made $80 off of that load. So that's how you get paid. And that's pretty much the difference. The big difference between a freight broker and a dispatcher is that the freight broker needs to have a $75,000 surety bond, has to have an active motor carrier number to broker freight. And for most shippers, we'll have to have contingent cargo insurance. So as a dispatcher, you don't need any of that. All you need to do is just go form an LLC and start finding owner operators to dispatch for. And also, if you got any more questions, man, feel free to always reach out to me through email. Rafael Pena, hey, bro, I'm in Newark, New Jersey, struggling to get my CDL. I don't have a truck either. How can I get started as soon as possible? Any advice? Thanks, bro. So, I mean, the first thing is you got to go get your CDL license. You know, if I was you, if I don't know what you're doing right now, but go start studying for your CDL learner's permit. There's plenty of study guides on the web right now. All you got to do is type it in Google, you know, study guide, study tests, and pre-test for Class A CDL license. Go take your test, go get your learner's permit, and hopefully you can find somebody around there if you don't have the money or the funds to go to a trucking school, or even if you don't have the money or the funds to go to a trucking school, there's also a lot of programs out there. A lot of people out here don't like to do research. You know, they don't really like to. There's plenty of programs for people out here that's going to pay for your CDL license, you know. And I always like to tell people, do your research on if you don't really have that $4,500 to $6,000, because that's about the average price trucking school is going to cost you out of your pocket. Go to the unemployment office, go to those different type of workforce and unemployment type of agency places, and I'm pretty sure they got some type of programs for you. Make sure that you are always utilizing all your resources out there. I like to tell a lot of people this: if there's anybody that's in the military right now, or that's retired, or that has separated from the military honorably, that's on this live right now, or that's going to view this live, there's plenty of programs out there for military veterans. I talk to people every day and they don't even know what type of benefits that they are entitled to out there. So civilian or military, just make sure you guys out there are actually always doing your research, doing your self-education, because there's plenty of resources out here for you. Sister Larissa, tell me what to expect with the broker training. So the broker training is just taking you from not knowing anything. So the way that I build my trainings is I put myself in the audience shoes, because I'm not, you know, I made good grades in school because I studied, but I'm not, you know, the top student, you know. So for me, when I do and create anything, I always try to make sure that I put myself out in the audience shoes. So the freight broker and the dispatch training is set up for people who don't know anything about this business. I'm talking about you could have zero knowledge about dispatching and brokering freight, but after you take my trainings, I'm gonna take you from not knowing anything to taking you to knowing something. But for me, my focus is not to just train you on and teach you how to broker freight and how to dispatch freight. My trainings are more tailored to inspiring you and letting you know and giving you that foundation of being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, not a worker. You know, there's a lot of people out here that's dispatching, that's selling trainings, and all they're doing is giving people basic knowledge and, all right, go get this knowledge and go work for somebody. My whole thing is I'm trying to inspire ownership and entrepreneurship. So what you can expect is that you're going to get the knowledge for the actual being a freight broker. You're going to know the ins and outs of brokering freight, but also you're going to get something that's in greater value. That's going to be having that business mindset to go out and go start your own dispatching company or go start your own freight brokerage. And also, if you have any more questions, anybody that's interested in anything that I provide, any trainings or whatever, dispatching, mentorship, brokering, if you guys want to know how to start your trucking company, if you guys want to know how to start a lease on trucking company, it don't matter what it is, send me an email. I'll reach back out to you. And then what I like to do is like I don't have a lot of time, but I could give you about 15 minutes on the phone and we'll do a Q&A, you know, before you purchase whatever you want to purchase, just to give you guys a little bit more insight, you know, on what I provide. What software you use to keep track of your business? For now, I'm using an Airtable to keep track of my business. Man, I'm pretty much old school. You know, I use a lot of Excel spreadsheets. That's how I learned in the military. I use a lot of Excel spreadsheets. I try not to go buy into a lot of stuff that I could do on my own, to be honest with you. I do have one transportation management system. It's called ITS Dispatch with Truck Stop. But besides that, I'm straight Excel spreadsheet. And I keep track of everything on my own. I don't believe in a lot of that software, and I don't believe in letting other people keep track of, you know, your business, especially when you guys are just starting out, because that's the time for you to really learn the business. And then once you learn it, yeah, go invest off into some transportation management systems, go invest into an assistant or somebody, you know, that could keep track. But, you know, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I got multiple things and multiple businesses that I run, but I mean, I'm not this big business entrepreneur guy to the point that I just need a whole lot of different software and different people. So basically, I'm just letting you guys know, when you start your business, actually be engaged. Try to do as many things on your own as possible. Don't pay people to do things for you. And like I say, if you go buy into a service, when you buy into that service, make sure that you're confident enough to come in to fire the person that if he's not providing a good quality service. Some of you guys out there I talk to, and I'm not saying on this live right now, but there's plenty of people that I've talked to that start a trucking company. Then they go hire a dispatch service, but the dispatch service is not making them any money. So they hit me up asking me questions, and I tell them like, hey, how many times you didn't heard me say this ever since I've been on YouTube? Learn how to dispatch yourself. If you want to go hire a dispatching company, that's fine, but learn how to jump back in your business. It's the same thing when you broker and freight out there too. Fitzgerald CDL walk-ins are gone February 2020. How to be certified by the state in 2020. Have to be certified by the state in 2020. CDL walk-ins are gone. Oh, CDL walk-ins are gone. Okay, I got you now. MP, hey Manny, how you doing? I'm looking into start up the business already. Have my LLC just done. Just need your help and advice on what size truck and trailer should I get as a non-CDL for now. Yeah, send me an email on that one. Like I say, I'm not the specialty guy on non-CDL right now. Cornell got you. William Marshall, what's going on, William? I was guided by the website to fill out the MCS 150, but when I signed in, the FMCSA website says the new registrant should fill out there. You fill out through the UCR. Also, do they verify my insurance when they call me? So William, I know with the MCS 150 that, of course, that's a way that you go and update your how many trucks and trailers in any of your company's information is through the MCS 150. Also, do they verify my insurance? I was gonna say, William, man, shoot me a text after this. We'll chop it up. Love the cap. Oh man, I appreciate that. First, staying focused. I've been seeing a couple of Hotshot guys on YouTube switching over to big rigs. Is the Hotshot trucking still good out there? Hotshot trucking is, that's just trucking in general. There's plenty of people out here that, they're going to experience the Hotshot game, and maybe they might not really be making a lot of money. It's just all about like I say, it's all about the person out there. So maybe if they're not making any money, they just like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to a semi truck, which is nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine, but there's still money out here to be made. There's still freight out here. Of course, yeah, we're right now in a moment when the freight rates are not the best. It's not an abundance of freight, but like I always tell people out there, you just have to, it's like any other business, you just can't get off into it and thinking that every day is going to be smooth sailing. The first thing, once you leave that 9-to-5 job, it's really just a hunt anyway, and everything is unpredictable on how you're going to make your money. So don't let that discourage you from people saying, hey, it's not a lot of freight out here. Freight rates are low, or you see people going from a Hotshot to a semi truck. One good thing about the person that went from the Hotshot truck to the semi truck, at least they did have a Class A CDL, so I highly recommend you guys getting that Class A CDL. So if you do want to go from the Hotshot to the semi truck, which ain't bad. And the good thing about semi trucks is that it's an abundance of freight out here. It's good freight out here for semi trucks. Hotshots, even since I've been in, has always been limited, but I've always made money because I know how to make money. But like I say, if you're coming into business and you haven't really been educated, or if you're not doing self-education, you might not be able to really get off of here and make money. So you might be discouraged. But of course, I'm not discouraged. I'm still rolling. You know, the only semi truck I'm going to buy is when I start my trucking school, so I could train people how to, you know, drive an actual manual semi truck. But besides that, I'm not using that semi truck to go haul freight. I'm gonna always use the Hotshots for that. The Asian Mind Show, thanks for all the great information, brother. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I didn't see some of your videos too, man. You do pretty well, man. I appreciate you for checking out this live. Nathaniel Howard, thanks. Sister, what tools and equipment needed for dispatching brokering other than a computer? Honestly, to make money in brokering freight and dispatching, all you need is a computer and a cell phone. I don't know when the last time I used a printer. I use everything through PDF filler on my laptop to fill in documents, and my cell phone and my computer. That's pretty much it. But you know, if you want to go buy like an all-in-one type printer with a scanner, copier, you know, fax machine, you know, that might work. I'm motivated. Thanks for the valuable info. YouTube. Yep, too much expenses. Told Piglet, what's going on? Brian Dembo, how's the marathon training coming, man? Hey, it's definitely coming. My knees is starting to hurt, but one thing about it is I try to take my breaks. Raggedy B, slave. Harrington, little one truck. Okay, so Harrington said he got one truck. First, stay in focus. Thanks for all the info. I'm learning a lot from you. I appreciate that. Terrence County, thanks for clearing that up. Told Piglet, everyone is charging the charging the owner operator. Lakeisha, Lakeisha got the EIN last week. Good job. Download the CDL prep app. Robert Claiborne told Piglet, what the F, Brandon, enables super chat. Oh man, I told you I'm still new to this, man. Hit me up and let me know what all that is, man, and I'll do it the next time. First, stay in focus. There is some government assistance for CDL training. Yes, it is. Marty Jones, good day, people. To program in your state. All right, Terrence, Workforce does a program. Yep. Jamal Henderson, do you still have the ebook on how to start your hotshot business? Yep, it's on my website, www.extraordinarymovement.com. Lakeisha Harvey, is it possible to dispatch for you? Send me an email. Like I say, my business partner, I don't really do a lot of that dispatching and leasing on people these days. That's pretty much all my business partner right now. He's doing a lot of dispatching and leasing people on. So send me an email and I'll forward you over. I'll forward that information over to my business partner. Google Sheets is great. Yes, it is. When are you starting your school? I'm selling some practice tractor. Oh, okay. I'm starting my school honestly any day now. I'm just looking. I'm looking for the right location with the right piece of land, so we could have some good course time out there. So that's pretty much all I'm doing right now. I'm just in the process, just taking it one day at a time for the remainder of this year. And I want to go ahead and get that ball rolling. And I want to open it up like the first month, you know, January of 2020. Like I say, it'll be here in Indianapolis. I might open it up before, but you know, through my videos and through my website, I'll keep everybody posted, but I will be opening it up at the beginning of 2020, and that's for sure. Got tired when you started. Terrence Canny, got tired of working for other people, jumped in with my own truck. Thanks to your videos, I'm doing okay. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Currently 18, just got my CDL today, passed with flying colors. Any recommendations? Trying to find a job. Having trouble finding one. Yeah, it might be a little bit hard for you starting out, man, especially being 18 years old. I just say you just got to keep looking. You just got to keep searching out there. You know, there's nothing I could really do for you at the moment. Joe, is it possible to hotshot without a CDL? Yes, it is. Like I told you guys, Toe Piglet is on here right now. Toe Piglet, leave your email on this on the comments somewhere, if you're still on here, let people know, how to get in touch with you so they can figure out this whole non-CDL game. I'm motivated. Which would you start first, dispatcher, broker, and freight? I get that question a lot. Which one would I start, dispatch and broker? I just recommend go ahead and learn how to do both. And you could do them simultaneously. You could do them at the same time. But if you want to just start with dispatching, dispatching is a little bit more, I think it's a little bit more easier starting out because you don't have to go through the steps of doing everything to go be a freight broker. So, hey, if you want to, I don't like to take the easy way out, but if you kind of want to take the easy way out, I would say go start with dispatching first. Lakeisha Harvey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm currently working a 9-to-5 job. I enjoy the work as I do as tactical vehicle mechanic for the Army. Hey, a big salute to you. And I see a ton of freight moving in and out of here, but I really want to start my own business, man. Like I say, send me an email if you haven't, man. broker@managedtrans.com. Eric Diaz, I got a 3500 dually, 2-wheel, and it doesn't have the Aisin transmission, but it's still a good truck to start, bro. Yeah, all I've had is 4x4 3500s dually, so I don't really know too much about it. Jamal Henderson, good old devices to start with. ELD, I use TransFlow for ELD. Eric Diaz, I got my CDL already. That's what's up. Tyrese Spates, which is my cousin. Keep grinding, cuz. I appreciate you. Eric S., would you ever suggest for me going dispatch for 2 years, then drive when I turn 21? Hey, most definitely, man. That's a good plan. Like I say, man, I'm willing to help. Send me an email, broker@managedtrans.com. Told Piglet on your computer, go to YouTube Studio, beta monetization live chat. Hey, I appreciate that, Toad Piglet, man. What is that gonna do, man? Is that gonna actually what? Is that gonna make my pockets a little bit fatter than what they already are or something? Toad Piglet must be hustling. Toad Piglet is a hustler. There go Toad Piglet got his email, youtube@toadpiglet.com. Joe, I'm in the process of getting my truck and equipment in any companies that you can recommend to drive under their authority for. Yeah, like I say, send me an email. My business partner still has the lease on company. He's always looking for good qualified candidates to lease on. How often should you service your trucks? With me, I get an oil change anywhere from about every 10 to 12,000 miles. Toad Piglet, people can give money in the live chat. Oh, okay. I like that, Toad Piglet. Toad Piglet, you stay hustling, man. Toad Piglet put 2-3 videos out every day out there. If you guys are always in the market of looking for, like I say, non-CDL, man, go holler at him because he's definitely out there hustling. JRS, what are you using for invoice tracking? For invoice tracking, for me, for my factoring company, I mean, that's how you invoice your factoring company. Anything else outside of factoring companies, I mean, for me, I just use whether it's PayPal or, like I say, I have my own personal system throughout my Excel spreadsheets and my own invoicing system too. I have a Class A. I have been driving OTR, but I just relocated to Houston. I want to get into Hotshot trucking. Hey, like I say, go ahead and get off into it. Send me an email. I could definitely get you right. Toad Piglet, he's giving free advice and answering questions for free. Yep, there you go, Toad. Toad Piglet, man. She said I'm answering questions for free. Toad Piglet trying to hustle. You trying to give me some money, huh? Nyrone White, Toad Piglet is the man. Toad Piglet, thanks, sir. Valika Wilkins, I also sent you an email. I appreciate it, Joe. Sayers, right on. Thanks. I'm out of Dallas. Does that matter? No, it don't matter. Like I say, send me an email if you guys have any questions. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions before I roll off. I got a few more things I got to do before the night end. I drove trucks for 2 years and I had a trouble with dispatchers. That's why I would like to have my own business in that area. And thanks for answering all my questions. I also enjoyed yesterday's webinar. Hey, I appreciate that. Like I say, I try to do free live webinars where I can give you guys a little bit more insight and more information through an actual webinar platform. And whenever I put those out, I'll put them out in my videos. So Joyce TP. So yeah, hey, I definitely appreciate everybody out there for watching this live Q&A. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me an email at broker@manixtrans.com. Go visit my website, www.extraordinarymovement.com. Out there, everybody, CEO, commit, execute, and be obsessed. Everybody be great.